Good morning. It is Beckie Belote. I am a Creative Memories Advisor in Newport News, Virginia. And we've got some things going on. There was a promotion last week that I talked about. But if you spent 75, you could pick one of three really cool things. One of them, there's a template, and it's definitely designed to make some really super cool cards if you're like really crafty. However, on closer inspection, that template is going to be really good for your scrapbook pages for sure. So anyways, I wanted to give you a heads up if you're struggling about what to pick and you like those templates, that's going to be a cool one for your scrapbook pages. And then there's a card set, which is multicolored cards. Right now we have blanks that are just blank cards for those of you that want to do your own thing. But these are multicolored, lots of them in all different colors, matching envelopes, super pretty. So for those of you that make cards, you're gonna like that. It takes one step out of your process. You can still make them your own. And then the last thing is a set of stickers. And there's warm colors, there's cool colors, there's sayings, and the borders. You know, we make 12-inch borders for our scrapbook pages. Well, these are 6 and 4-inch borders. Why? Because when you're doing cards, typically you have that 4x6 card, right? So they're going to be border stickers to accent your cards. In your scrapbooks, you would use them on your mats because our mats are 4x6, 4.5x6. It can be perfect for those as well. And then, of course, all the sayings, best wishes, congratulations, things like that. So, anyways, I highly recommend those. For every 75 you spend, you get one of those. So I wanted to let you know that was going on last week, and they have extended it until Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So go check out the website, see what you can throw in your cart to qualify for one of these for absolutely free, or reach out to your advisor if you need some help placing those orders. And I would certainly be willing to help you. I am creativememories.com /user/ Beckie Belote. And I spell my name BeckieBelote. So thanks for watching today. I'm going to do a spring page that would be great for Easter because it's got an Easter basket on there. If you want to make them with me, let me tell you what you want to go grab. You want to go grab this one. This is in your gemstone patterns, okay? I also used this one. It's the one that has that hexagon in the middle, okay? That's also in the gemstone. So grab your gemstones pattern. I'll use my straight trimmer. You can't get by with doing a page without a straight trimmer, right? And oh my gosh, I love this one for this page that I'm getting ready to do. So you're going to want to grab your decorative trimmer, maybe some foam squares. If you have the bow maker, grab that. If you don't, order it because it's really good, and you're gonna love that tool. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh, by the way, and they do have that bow maker in a bundle where you get a free bone folder, and you also get some envelope papers that are already cut to size to make the most standard size envelopes that you make for like gift certificates or gift cards or whatever. So anyways, you'll love it. All right, so let me take me away and I'll show you what we're gonna do. Let's see. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm working with Painted Harvest first. And what you're going to want to pick when you do this is 2 pieces of paper where one looks good on top of the other. So this would be a great color combination. This is in Painted Garden. This would be a beautiful paper combination. This would be a beautiful paper combination, right? And the one that you want on top, I want you to put that one aside for now. And the one that you're going to, is that what I decided? Actually, I think I was going to go with the busier side today, just because I'm curious how pretty this will look. All right, so I'm going to put this one on the bottom. And what I want you to do is cut off 2 1/2 inches, 2 1/4 inches is what I did. 1/4 inches. 1/4 inches is when you line up right to the edge of that mat strip. Okay, so I'm covering the gray on my mat strip completely. Will give me 1/4 inch, and you're going to do it one more time. You're probably saying to yourself, why aren't you just doing 1/2 inch? Well, I actually am going to use these pieces. They are not waist strips, so 2/4 inch strips, so they're really thin. All right, so I got those. All right, then what we're going to do is take our other guy, Mr. Tractor, and we are going to start by doing the exact same thing on that one. So cut off 2/4 inches. All right, everybody with me? So we took 2/4 inches off of this, 2/4 inches off of this. You could have done it at the same time. I didn't point that out, and I didn't do it myself. All right, so now what I want you to do is rotate this, and I want you to cut off, let's just level it at the ledge. Let's just level it at the ledge. That way you don't have to worry about measurements. This part doesn't really matter. You could have picked, 1.5, 2 inches, whatever you want. This is a waist strip. We're not going to be using that one, so put that one aside. All right. Then what I want you to do is let's put this tool aside and let's grab this tool. All right. So this is going to be an Easter page for me. So I am going to use this one because this reminds me of Easter eggs. All right. And I'm going to do it pretty central. In other words, I don't want you to get carried away with it being perfect because it absolutely doesn't matter. But if you could try to get it so that it looks kind of in the middle, your blade is here. So just kind of in the middle, but if you're off, it absolutely does not matter. Got it? So off of each sheet, we cut off 1/4 inch, which is mat width length. Then we rotated this piece of paper, and then we put it up against the ledge and cut off this strip, which was going to be a waist strip. Now what I want you to do is on your base piece of paper, let's stick these down. And I'm going to let some color peek out at the top. Does it matter how much? Not at all. What I am seeing is that might not be completely straight. So I am using repoke here, but that is not a problem to pull it up and kind of do a little maneuvering to make sure that is completely straight. All right, and then I think I did, yep, I'll put adhesive on that. And I'm gonna let some color stick out at the bottom too. All right, and again, I don't care how much. That's up to you, whether you want a big gap, a little gap, totally up to you. I'm gonna make it not so symmetric now to give us a little bit more color peeking through here. Next, what you're going to do is grab your straight trimmer, and you are going to cut this right down the middle. So that would be not at 6 inch, because remember, we cut off 2/4 inches. All right, we cut off 2/4 inches, so that is a 1/2 inch. Right, so if we are going to do this in the middle, 5 3/4, maybe. Yeah, let's do 5 3/4. And if it's not right, I'll just snip off something. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so 5 3/4. You might want to write that dimension down if you're not really good by dividing in your head. All right, so now I need some paper to build this on. You can pick any color that you want. What color do I want? Gosh, I think I might just go with white, guys. Girls. Let's see. All right. And you can put this anywhere you want. And before I stick it down, I'm going to use these guys to give it a little bit more pop, right? So I'm going to throw this yellow strip here on the edge. And if you don't like them, you don't have to put them there. But you might want to check both sides of your paper before building, because this is the back of a paper. You might want to make sure if you like that you like both sides of the paper. Right? And then I'm going to put the orange one on the other side. Is that super pretty? I love that. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. I think the yellow is going to go down first. And we're going to do, I'll put it on the right side. I don't feel, oh, I put it on the paper. I'm so silly. I don't usually do it that direction, but with these skinny strips, sometimes it's easier that way. Do a little smidgen here. So nice. All right. And then what I would probably do, let's go ahead. I actually went and pulled some mats. Again, this is from Painted Garden. I love the pre-done mats. And just add those for really quick mats. Notice they're double-sided, so you probably can find uses for these all over the place. Super cute. I'm going to go ahead and throw some blocks up there. Probably, let's do 4 by 4s. I'm using this pretty patterned. This looks ombre, which is really nice for Easter eggs. Put that up there. Pretty. It's coming together, right? Right, and then you can put whatever in these panels. What do I want, guys? I think I'm going to put these here. I think I'm going to do a couple more. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. All right. Now, you're going to want to grab, like, I like to decorate my mats with stickers, or embellishments. And this line has some really pretty things for spring. So let's see. So let's stick these down, not all of them. I like this because it really looks a lot harder than it is, and it makes people feel like I'm smarter than I am. So that's what I like. Okay, so that looks really good. All right. What do I want? How about this one? All things grow with love. Oh my gosh, this looks really similar to something we have in the NSD embellishments. I've got all these little things on my fingers now. I tend to do that I like this, but I am going to do something I did not anticipate doing. And it might not even work, but I just have this thing in my mind that we have an NSD embellishment. Look at this. Look at this, guys. We have this embellishment, and that is going to look perfect with this embellishment, the sticker. Oh my gosh, that was just luck. All right, and then I'm gonna throw um, some thumb squares under here to give it some pop. Oh yeah, I'm excited about this. This is so pretty. All right, and really, when you have a nice chunky embellishment like that, you don't need much else, do you? Isn't that pretty? All right, so yay me! I'm really proud of myself. All right, so next, let's go to gosh, I'm seeing ovals down here in the bottoms, aren't you? Let's do some ovals. I'm going to grab another piece of white paper. And I'm going to do some ovals down in the bottom. I'm going to use my blue blade. This is the cutting system if you're not used to it. You do need a cutting mat for this. I do love ours. I know that there's lots of them out there, but I think ours are really functional for a lot of different things. So if you're just getting started, I do recommend ours. And this one is the oval set. And I'm going to go ahead and cut two of them while I'm at it. The blue blade is the one that I'm using. We have three blades, the red, blue, and green. I do recommend all three. But when you're cutting mats to put photos on, I use the blue. And that way I have the other, when I cut my photo, I would use one of the other two blades that are smaller and it will fit perfectly in the space. So I know a lot of people already have this tool, so I'm not going to go in a lot of detail, but it is a great tool. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. All right. All right, so now I want to make a little Easter basket. To do your Easter baskets, I made one earlier today, which I'll show you in just a minute, using this piece of paper, which came from On the Farm. Okay, so if you have the On the Farm paper pack, it's got a really pretty piece of wood. If you have any leftover Seaside, in fact, Seaside is still available, and it's a beautiful, beautiful pack for the ocean, for the beach, for lake, seagulls, stuff like that. Great, great one. And this one came out of Serenity, and it's got a basket weave. So I thought now that I'm not sure how the lighting is showing up for you, but this is a beautiful basket weave, and I'm going to try that with this one today. All right, so what I'm going to do, I am first going to use what? I'm going to use this guy, this on the inside, and I'm going to use with my red blade. Okay, the red blade cuts very close to the plastic, so it's going to be my biggest possible hexagon here, which is not all that crazy big when you see what I'm going to do to it. All right, then what I'm going to do is fold it in half. And I want you to fold at the points, okay? So pick two opposite points and fold it in half that way. And you can cut it with your straight trimmer or your scissors. I know when you have a crease, something this small, it's not that really big a deal to do it with your scissors. Do your long scissors though. That way you have a less likely of goofing up. So nice long stroke. All right, so that takes care of that. And then what I'm gonna do, by the way, make sure you like the front and the back, that there's a little bit of contrast. I do want some contrast. The basket weave I'm putting on top, and then I'm gonna take my little small foam squares. We had the big ones that I used earlier. for bigger objects. We also have foam tape for even bigger objects. Is another one of my faves. Showing you what it looks like. Foam tape. These give rise to your objects. So this one is going to be on the bottom. Let me get this out of the way. This one's going to be on the bottom. And I'm just going to put these little guys around, not at the top, and you'll see why in a minute, but just around the perimeter, not going to that top level. And then let's pull these little guys off so that we can make a mess. Oh my goodness. Flower Peaks Punch. We made a big old mess of my crop last time. That has lots of little pieces. All right. So anyways, I'm going to put this on top. And what this is doing, it's creating kind of a 3D look. So I not only see the front of the basket, but the back of the basket. And then when we cut our little Easter eggs, they're going to fit nicely inside. All right, let's do a handle now. I'm going to do the handle out of the same piece of paper. So we use this one for the basket. And now, believe it or not, I am going to use this for the basket. Right, and I'm going to use the outside of it. I'm going to start by cutting with my blue blade. Right, you might want to hold on if you have just a piece of paper, not a full sheet like I do. Make sure you're holding onto your paper so there's no shift. And remember, you need a little bit of room for the blue blade. It reaches out. And then you're going to come back through with your red blade. And this one is cutting the same shape, but closer to the plastic. So you'll see what we get. Well, you'll see what I get. I tore it. We're going to try that again. It's Becky. She's back with her shenanigans. All right, we'll do the blue. Somebody said last week that I always make them laugh. It was so funny. It was one of my ones that I didn't even think that was funny. But I always goof up. There's always a reason to laugh at me. All right, so we're going to not rip it this time. All right, so that takes care of that. So this is what I have is a little handle here. Get all the stuff out of my way so I can see what I'm doing. All right, and then what we're going to do, we don't need all of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back of my thing, and then I'm going to put it so that it's perfect for the basket top. I'm forever making a mess on my mat. I'm trying to get really good over here. All right, good. All right, and then I'm just going to trim off what I don't need. All right, and we're going to throw that about right here. Is that super cute? Then sorry, it didn't look quite straight to me. All right, and then we're going to put this down. All right, now I want to make some Easter eggs and a bow. So I already made a few Easter eggs, I think. It's just a matter if I can find them. Oh, yeah. These were from last week. Let me see if the colors will work. Those will. And then let's just make a couple more. I like these. And then I'll show you how I made them. I'm going to do these pastel-y colors this time. The dogs are going to bark, but the mailman is here. Let's do a yellow. So this is think this is the smallest of the oval patterns. And then it might be the second smallest, having trouble visualizing, and I can't find my set. Right. So anyways, I'm going to use the blue blade about the dogs. Of course, my husband's out here chatting to the mailman.
so that he won't get back in his truck. So it is going to be worse than normal. Whoever that is that enjoys laughing at me, this is my moment. And maybe another one, maybe a white. Oh my gosh, kill him. Oh my gosh, he is still talking to the mailman. I'm going to throw a white one in. All right, so there's my Easter basket with the eggs. So now what I would like to do, I would like to make a little bow for my basket. So, how about, you know what we can do? I think I'm going to use this piece of paper. This was the one that I said we weren't going to use, that it was a waste strip, but this is going to be perfect to make our bow out of. All right. Oh, yeah. And if you don't have this bow maker, it makes bows and it makes envelopes. And this is really a very simple tool. And I would say it's not simple until you know how. You know what I mean? Once you make a few, you're going to think, it's the simplest thing ever. So I thought I would demonstrate it so that maybe it would cut out any of the learning curve that you may have. Remember, if you've never used it before, when you get yours, watch me, Noreen Smith at Creative Memories on YouTube. She also has a great video with it. But watch somebody do it the first time. I make notes to myself on mine. Like this one, I wrote top ribbon because it's got little pictures of what they're supposed to look like. And I wrote top there, bottom there to remind me what order they are. And I also, all right, so they tell you different size bows, extra small, small, medium, whatever. It has the paper width that you need for each of the little segments that you're going to be cutting. And then it has then after the width, we have the length of each one. There's 3 little pieces for each bow. You could even do more pieces if you want to, but there's 3 for the basic bow. And for B, I put L underneath the B line. And the reason why is I like the B piece to be longer than the A piece. I mean, not longer than the A, but longer than it says. So you're going to see, so it says for the extra small bow, which I'm making to make it 3.5 inch long, I'm going to make it 4. I make it a little longer, every one a little longer than it says. And I think it looks prettier, but you can use your own judgment on that. All right, so for the extra small bow, it says a 1 inch strip. So I'm going to make a 1 inch strip of paper. All right, so there's my 1 inch strip. Then it says, now I need 3 other pieces. I need one that is 6 inch. So I'm going to make this 6 inches. It says that I need one that's 3.5. And as I told you before, I'm going to make it 4 because I like it to be bigger than it says, because it's prettier that way. And then it says I need one that's a 1/4 inch. All right, now remember, 1/4 inch is level with that mat strip. So put what you have left, level it with that mat strip. It's probably smart to cut that one first because it's harder to cut. All right, so there's my 3 pieces, okay? All right, so now the top one, which is your long one, is A, and it wants you to notch it in the middle. So this is how you notch it. So I fold it in half and crease it pretty good so that you can see what you're doing. There is a mark right here. I've put a Sharpie on it to make it a little bit more obvious, but when you see yours, it is very obvious. You may not be very obvious on mine. All right, but I did try to make it dark. So what you're going to do is you're opening it back up. You're going to slide that crease to that mark that I just showed you. And you're going to do that on both sides. So I'm going to do it there. I'm going to flip it around. I can still see that crease, and I'm going to do it there. So this is what we have then. All right. Then for the ends, go ahead and fold it together. Back together, and then on that mark you're going to take this corner so that it is aligned. So my mark is right there, and I've put this piece of paper just over to the right side of it, and then I'm going to slide it over and do it again on the other side. So I'll push the whole thing over. My mark is right there, and I'm cutting Right, so this, we're going to sit here for a moment. The other piece right here, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold it in half, open it up, line up that crease with the line, which is right here in the middle. Do the other side. So you're already getting good at this, right? Now, for the bottom, what you're going to do is you're going to fold it back together and you're going to scoot it under these feet. You can fold it this way to figure out where the middle is if you want to, or you can just eyeball it. But you want to scoot it underneath the feet so that this right here appears to be in the middle. Make sense? All right. So this says bottom. So this is the bottom of my bow. I'm going to go ahead and put it, well, I'm going to decide which way I want to go with this. Do we want it to look like this? Or do we want it to look like this? You have to decide first. And I think I'm going to put striped down. Just at the top of my basket. And then what I'm going to do, I recommend at this point, if I can find it, where is it? I'm going to use regular tape on this. You have to be careful, but this is stronger. If you have the even stronger tape that we were selling for a limited time for crafters, I would even recommend that one to hold it really nice in place. All right, and then I think I'm going to put white up. So again, I'm going to put more adhesive there in the middle, more underneath, and then I'm going to take this little piece and wrap it around. Before I do, I'm going to make sure all the adhesive is hidden. That's the only thing about the regular is it's bigger, and this is really dainty. All right, so I'm going to take this and just wrap it around the middle. Okay, maybe give it a little extra something on the back here. And there. And then we'll put this on top. Is that the cutest thing you've ever seen? All right, so that is my page with painted garden. Isn't it lovely? All right, and you also, just so that you know, you could lay it like this as well. So there's different ways to lay it. All right, so that takes care of that page. Now I did the exact same thing with our National Scrapbook Day line. So for those, I feel compelled to tell you about the National Scrapbook Day stuff because it is still available. Most of us are doing our National Scrapbook Days in April or May. And the National Scrapbook line, you can get the customer kit, which is 40 something, 43, I think. And you're going to get a set of embellishments, which I just stole that piece from. Remember, I said, oh my gosh, it looks like this. So I stole that piece from NSD. So cute little embellishments. It's got these laser cut frames. You're going to see one in a minute that I just used on a page. It's got a project recipe. So that this is ideas to make all kinds of different things. It's got an accessory pack. It's got stickers. It's got a big laser paper. These, by the way, are so stinking pretty. I do recommend that you get the customer kit and add another set of the laser mats. I think it's what the set's called, laser something. Right. And then also in that laser set comes our laser borders. So that's another reason why you might want two, is a lot of times people like two sets to do double pages. So anyways, really pretty. And I went ahead and duplicated the page that I just showed you using the National Scrapbook Day line. So let's take a peek at that. So this right here, this beautiful thing right here is one of the laser frames that came from the NSD pack. And everything here is from the NSD pack. The only exception is my little basket here. Notice I cockeyed my bow a little bit here, a little bit different. I used a brown basket with some different colors, but this is the exact same layout we just did. Isn't this beautiful? I hope you like it. And then for the journal box, I made this a little journal box, and I just cut up, remember how we have some spare pieces of paper? I just cut up the spares into strips to kind of make an interesting look for the journal box. All right. So I showed you how to make a bow. Let's show you how to make a quick envelope. So to make a quick envelope, you need to know how big your envelope is going to be. So if you make the absolute smallest envelope, which is over here, that's going to be perfect for a little gift card. So if you're giving anybody a gift card for Mother's Day or Father's Day or Easter, this is the size you're going to want. All right. And so if what you do is you look at the 2 by 3.5, that's your standard gift card size. It says for the paper size, make it 5 inches. Now, 5-inch square, everything on here is a square. Okay. So I need a piece of paper and I need to cut myself a 5-inch square. So I've lined this edge with the 5. I'm going to line this up with the 5 over here. I'm going to grab this corner. I'm going to flip it, line this corner at the 5, because every dimension is going to be a 5 here. And then go down to the cut line. And then that will give me the size that I need to make this envelope. All right. Next, what you want to do is pull out your, I don't know what this is called, a scorer, I guess. It's kind of a scoring tool. All right. And you're going to lift this open. And what you're going to do is take a look at what it said. So we cut our paper to a 5-inch. It says punch guide 2. Over here, this says punch guide, and there's the 2. What that means is they want me to put my piece of paper on this ledge. I'll do the dark side, line it up to the 2, right? So if it said 3, I would line it up there. If it said 4.25, I would line it up there. Okay. This says 2. If it was a bigger piece of paper, you would also need to open up this one as well. All right. This one, we don't really need that, but a bigger piece of paper, you would need both feet open. All right. So then you're going to grab this guy, and there are grooves here and here. And once you line it up with that 2, you are going to put this scorer in the grooves, and don't mash too hard or you'll cut through. But you do want it to be prominent so that you can see it. All right. Once you've done that, I'm going to put it back for a second because this next step is where people screw up at. All right. Then what you're going to do, so we want to do the same thing on this side. So we did it on this side. Now we want to do it on this side. All right. Do not flip your paper upside down. Instead, just keep rotating until this side is at the 2 again. And then you're going to do it one more time. When people make a mistake, it tends to be at that place right there. All right. So now you have this grid. I'm going to kind of hold it at the angle so you can see it. And on each side, there's a little triangle cut out. You see that? So now what I'm going to do is go over here, back to these little feet. And I'm going to fit those little triangles in those little feet. And I'm going to cut. So if you've done it right, your little feet will line up with your score line. So put the little triangle in there so that your little feet are perfectly lined up with your score line. Okay. Then what I want you to do is take opposite corners, kind of fold them together. And this says corner punch. You can do them one at a time, but you don't have to. And kind of put the corners so that it is square. in this little point there. So we got rounded corners there, and we're going to fold it the other way and do it again. All right, so that's all you've got. Then you have to decide which way you want to show. I'll go ahead and fold the dark side in. So you want to do your little flaps, then your big flap, we'll seal it in. All right, and then you can throw your gift card in, and then you have this. So, and then I went ahead and made a bow. I'm gonna actually, this is my second envelope. I made one just before. I'm gonna use this one because it's contrasting with this one. So let's say you put the gift card in, you could just seal it shut, but if you have the bow, you actually see put you could put this down to seal it shut. And then what I did for this bow, I made the top pieces, and I put the little 1/4 inch thing around the middle so that I have a bigger, thicker, more robust bow. So I have 2, and I've wrapped that middle around it. All right, and I'm going to use some of my good adhesive to kind of make it so it won't slide. Put that there. Put that there. And that way you have a nice, more robust bow. And if this doesn't look like a beautiful Mother's Day or Easter little gift card, I don't know what does. Is that the cutest little thing ever? That would be great at Christmas too, right? Okay, so that's all I've got. I hope that you like that. And I hope that you'll try it. If you haven't ordered that bow thing, I see lots of bows in our future. You can make big oversized envelopes, the bigger ones. You can throw on a 12 by 12 page and tuck all your cards and brochures and stuff in those. We're going to have a lot of reasons. We haven't been talking about it much because the company came out with them at Christmas and they sold out in like a month. When we were all brokenhearted and we were complaining and being all grumpy, and they're so now you're going to hear us talking about them again. So don't be jealous, get your own. Thanks so much for watching. You all go shop with us, see an advisor, come to a community event. We having all kinds of National Scrapbook Days this season, tons of fun, weekend retreats. We are fun. Creative Memories Advisors are fun. And don't you forget about that. Thanks so much. Bye now.